I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, but I don't love talking about them tonight. I'm recapping Game 54 of the regular season. Astros fall to the Mariners 6-1, but we out-hit them 9-6. We scored 1 run on 9 hits, and that is mind-blowing. Let's get into it, starting with the starting pitching. Lance McCullers went 6 2/3. He gave up 4 runs, none of which were earned. He walked 2, gave up 3 hits, and struck out 7. Lance McCullers had a second very good start in a row, and I know what you're saying, Weston, how could it be a really good start? He didn't go 7 innings, and he gave up 4 runs. 0 earned runs. Now look, I love Altuve. Altuve is my very favorite player, not just for the Astros. He's my favorite player in sports. I have 4 Altuve jerseys. I'm embarrassed to say that. I have the bobblehead, the signed card, and the pop-up there, all for Altuve. I have like a mini shrine to him right there. I love Jose Altuve. That double play has to be turned. And he has had a bad season. And I love him, and I will say this. This season for Jose Altuve has been terrible. He hasn't had his power. He hit 30 home runs last year. He's hit 3, and I know you're going to say it's a shortened season. He has not hit a home run since, I believe, the second week of the season. It was the Arizona series. It's been a very long time since I've seen Altuve hit one over the fence. Altuve's been bad with power, which not that he's a power hitter, but still. He hasn't had a good batting average. He hasn't drawn a ton of walks. He's getting up there now, and he's been bad. He's been bad defensively. He's been bad offensively. And I'm going to say he's been bad base running, but that's more of an indictment of Dusty Baker trying to make a steal all the time, which, Dusty, look at any statistics. Stealing is not a good thing anymore. I know you've caught up with a lot of the times. Get up with this one. Don't steal bases. I could make an hour-long tangent about stealing bases, and I need to compose myself before I go on to that tangent. But Jose Altuve, he has to turn that double play. He turns that. Now that double that we give up in the next batter, that's just a harmless double that puts a man on second with 2 outs. But instead, that scores the first run. Then a home run happened. And it's a shame. It really is. It's a shame and a half. And I will say this about the double. That also, I'm not sure if it could have been fielded by Bregman, but it was so close. Also, I thought the ball, and I'm a massive baseball fan. I've been a fan for 5 years now. I've been a fan for a while. And I know the rules of basically everything. I thought that the ball has to touch the dirt on the bag. Like, inside the lines. I didn't think it could just curve around the bag. Like, I didn't see it hit the ground. I was very confused. Like, it looked to me like it hit the ground on the plate side of the bag, bounced, and then curved around the bag, and then didn't hit the dirt anymore. Like, I thought it had to make contact with the dirt outside of the bag before it could be ruled a fair ball. I'm probably wrong because they called it that and there was no review, so I must be wrong. But I was really confused at that. And I'm sure there are some of you that are going, oh my god, Weston, you're an idiot. How are you a baseball fan? And that's fine, and I'm not going to lie, I probably deserve it. Anyway, after Lance got pulled, again, I'm going to say it, he had a good start. Don't let the 4 runs fool you, all unearned. Paredes came in for an out and got it. I mean, I'd love to talk about Paredes, but 1 out, I mean, there's not much to say. It was a pop-out. But I will say it because he is the cannoli man, and I love the cannoli man. Belak came in, and first off, why did we not let Paredes go a second inning? Like, why didn't we put him back out there? I know I complained about, not putting players in there for more than 1 inning, but it's 4-0. It's the 8th. Why not? Also, Paredes has been good, and I would be okay having him work some more heading into the playoffs. Maybe get the blood flowing, get him pumped up for the playoffs, and also he's already worked. Like, why not just put him back out there? And then Belak came in, and I gotta ask, what happened to Brandon Belak? He was so good. The first 4 starts of the year, he was incredible. And then the Padres just destroyed him. Like, I don't know what to say. On his first 3 pitches, he gave up a hit. Again, another play that could have maybe been turned by Altuve. If he would have been able to get any heat on the ball, it's a play. But he didn't. And then he hits a guy on the head. which I understand that it was an accident, but I hate seeing people get hit in the head. It's awful. It's terrible. Again, it wasn't intentional, but I still hate seeing it. And then he almost hit another guy in the head a couple pitches later, which that got chirps out of the Seattle dugout. And obviously, it was not intentional. There is no reason for it to be intentional. He's not. I think the only time he faced the Mariners, he got the win or had successful relief. Like, he has no reason to be angry at the Mariners. But at the same time, I totally get where they're coming from. And if I'm on a team and someone hits one of my guys in the head and then almost hits another one in the head, I'm going to chirp at him. Like, I totally understand that from the Seattle perspective in this. Again, I don't think it was intentional by any means. There's no reason to be. You have to look at meaning for the cause, and there is none there. But I get why they started getting frustrated that was happening. But it seems like his control is gone. Like, I don't know what the issue is. Again, he looked fantastic for the first couple starts, and then the Padres hit and just gone. Like, he's been terrible. He's not just been not good. He's not just been bad. He's been terrible since then. His final stat line for tonight was 1 inning, 2 runs, a strikeout, I believe, and a walk. Bad inning. And it would have been way more than 2 runs if they would have had the jump on Brantley's his bobble. Like, if that doesn't happen and he just straight up doesn't catch it, or they have good reads on it, it's probably a 3rd run. Maybe even bases clearing, I'm going to say. But, yeah, that was rough. It was a rough day pitching, and Lance got the loss tonight, which bugs me because, again, he didn't give up any earned runs. I understand he gave up 4 runs. He didn't look bad. Like, that's the crazy part. I kind of wish he would have got pulled before the home run, just because his pitch count was kind of elevated at that point. And he had a guy warming in the bullpen. Like, Dusty had a guy warming. Dusty Baker, he can't find the sweet spot. And I know that hindsight is perfect. It's 2020. I understand that. But you have a pitcher who's now at 100 pitches at that point when he gives up the home run. He's been struggling somewhat that inning. He's coming off of a Tommy John surgery from the past year. He's now had 2 pretty deep starts. I don't get it, and I complain a lot of he pulled him too early or he pulled him too late. I understand that, and it's very easy for me to complain about this, but I have to say what I thought, and what I thought was he should have pulled him a little bit earlier. I would have pulled him after the first out, and that just came back to bite us. The offense tonight was not good. Excuse me, I really should rephrase that. We were decent, but we weren't decent at the same time. Altuve went 2 for 3 with a walk, Brantley went 3 for 4, and Tucker went 2 for 4. We just couldn't put the pieces together. It would always happen at different little intervals. Now, the positives from this, if you can take any... Oh, by the way, the only run tonight was a Reddick RBI in what is effectively garbage time. Is there garbage time in baseball? Like, I know it is in football. It's like a couple minutes left in the 4th quarter. I'm going to say it. Down by more than 5 in the 9th is garbage time. I don't care. Anyway... The positives for the offense tonight is Altuve, 2 for 3 with a walk. That is good. Brantley, 3 for 4. That's good. Tucker, 2 for 4. That isn't as good as the other, but that's still pretty good. Like, we have the pieces there. We have the pieces in place to be good. But man, oh man, there are 6 games left. And we look dead on arrival at this moment. Like, it looks like we are going to go into... Again, we put up a run against Seattle, and you could say, Weston, that's their best pitcher. That's Seattle's best pitcher. And I would say, yes. But we put up 1 run in 8 innings. And if you want to look at it very literally, we should have at least put up 2, because his ERA is a little over 3, and it was at like 3.2 going into the game. So... even if you want to say, Weston, it's their best pitcher, I will say we should have at least scored 2, because that's how the ERA statistic works. We looked bad. he owned us. Like, he didn't own us. It was weird. He didn't completely own us because we had offense, but he just pitched well when we got runners on. We looked bad. And there have been a lot of games where one part of the team shows up and the other just doesn't. We have nights where our offense is there and our pitching just falls apart, but we've had a lot more that our offense just can't get off the ground. We got shut out a couple nights ago. I thought we were going to get shut out again. And I'm sorry, but a shutout against Shucky Darns. Was it the Rangers? I believe it was the Rangers that we had the shutout that shut us out. And I thought we were going to get shut out in a singular week by the Rangers and the Mariners, and I was going to start crying on the floor right under my whiteboard. We've got to pull out of this. We've got to do something, because if this is how we play in the wild card series, is it called a wild card series? I'm going to call it that. If this is how we play going into Oakland, like not going into Oakland because I don't believe we're playing in Oakland, but if this is how we play against them, it's going to be both a quick and long. It's going to be both a quick and long series. It's going to be bad if this is how we play. It's going to be real bad. I don't know what else to say. Like, we've had a lot of hair-pulling games in the past week where we just don't score anything. We hold them to below the average. Like tonight we didn't. If you looked only by earned runs, we did. But, we've had quite a few games in the past week where we've held them below the average. The MLB average is 4.5 per game, but our offense just isn't there. Framber Valdez gets the start tomorrow. It is at 8:10 Central Time. Thank you so very much for listening to me ramble. I so deeply appreciate it. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Stros.